Alright guys, hello and welcome to my Reddit post here. So we're going to be quickly going over all of the stupid bullshit things Killer can do. Yeah, and because this is just some really unbalanced stuff, and I have a really excellent example game here. So let's start off right. So this is a Springtrap game, right? So right off the bat, as you can see, we have a very, very, very wrong thing here. As you can see, the Killer has brought 4 perks. As you can see, this is actually really, really broken, because look at this. You can see this one called Lethal Pursuer. It allows him to see where you are, which completely deactivates stealth and is such an overpowered effect. Like, honestly, I don't know why you're allowed to be able to, like, play around such a normal survivor tactic like that. But let's go ahead and continue, because quickly we see something that is even worse. So as you can see, due to this bullshit anti-stealth, he is now capable of finding that. And now you can see here, even worse. All right, the biggest thing that is bullshit here, as you can see, he used his power, which we can get into that. We're gonna get into that later, right? But as you can see, he was able to damage this Sable here. This is actually an extremely busted effect, as by damaging a survivor, they become insta-downable, which is just way too overpowered for every single killer to have access to, really. I don't understand why this is still in the game, to be honest. It's really unbalanced. But from here, as you can see, thanks to the broken ability to damage the survivors, and make them insta-downable, soon you just give it a second. Yeah, just give it a second. Alright, now we have our next thing. Thanks to that very overpowered damaging mechanic, the survivor has now been downed. This is actually also really overpowered, as when you are downed, it means that you can be picked up and hooked, which puts you one step closer to dying. This is I don't think I should need to explain why this is so unbalanced and why this is so unhealthy. But obviously, I'm going to, just for the sake of this video, guys, alright? So, basically, when you can be hooked like this, it's just kind of unfair. Because you get hooked, and then you, like, just can't work on generators or anything? And that's just kind of like, why, though? And if you get hooked 3 times, you die. Like, that's crazy, man. I honestly don't know how they got away with this. So then he picks up the survivor, and then carries them to a hook. You know, obviously the wiggle timer being so slow is broken. They shouldn't be able to walk this far for a hook. I mean, look at this. That hook was a good, like 17 feet away from that down. That's just not okay. That was almost such a sick shot, but it wasn't. Now, as you can see here, this is also that's right there is the really busted effect, but it's that is the version that all killers can use, and that's why it's so busted. Any killer can do that. He just presses a single button and you become insta-downable. It's so crazy behavior. I don't know how you let this in the game. I don't know how that got out of the playtests. Now, as you can see, there's another instance of the really busted downing mechanic. What's that? Freaking auto aim or some bullshit. But anyways, now we can see a lot more fair mechanics in play here that the survivors just kind of have to use. There we go, the very fair body blocking and stuff. I don't actually have a problem with that, but yeah, as you can see, now this pallet has been dropped. I don't remember if he does it yet, but as you can see right here, that was very unfair, obviously, as she was rightly saved and therefore should have been immediately transported to the other side of the map so that she could not be damaged again. Now right here is another example of a very unbalanced thing. That survivor, that poor man, threw down a flashbang to blind the killer, but the killer was able to do this very overpowered tactic called not looking at it, and that's just really That's really unhealthy behavior. He shouldn't be able to just avoid the flashbang like that. Because obviously the survivor deserves to get saved from such a bullshit mechanic in the first place of being able to be downed and hooked. So it's really just unhealthy for the game, and it's so problematic that it's like this. And from here, you can see that they have been hooked, and despite all the best efforts. Now, as you can see here, we have another instance of not only the unbalanced hitting of survivors, these guys are each downable now, but also the fact that you can get hit while unhooking survivors. This is really busted because, like, the hooking is already so unbalanced. The fact that you can just make it so they have another hook if they unhook is so crazy to me, man. Like, I can't believe behavior would allow this in the game. Now, as you can see here, the normal very balanced effect of the 10-second endurance was somehow avoided, which is just really not fair. Oh, I just realized I gotta pick himself up. One second. Wait, I'm actually only just now. Wait, what the hell? Hold on, no, hold on. Sorry for that. I'm rewatching. I'm probably rewatching this for the first time. I just noticed that was 3 different survivors. I hook this girl, right? This guy immediately goes for the save and gets down. And then I turn around and I was planning on just like doing this. I lose sight of her for a second, and then someone else comes in, and I think that's for the people. Someone else comes in and picks him up immediately, and then immediately gets hit because I thought that I didn't realize this was a different person. I don't know if I knew that when I did this originally when I played this game. Okay, anyways, continuing with the bit. So as you can see, there's another very unfair down here. And the hook isn't advertised, which honestly is one of the only ways to kind of play this with a broken strategy, guys. And as you can see, there's another bullshit thing here when he was able to be heard going into the locker. Really, this is the most unfair thing, really. The fact that the killer can just grab you out of lockers like that is so unfair. Like, you should be able to lock the locker. It's in the name. It's called a locker, not a get grabbed there. So you should just be able to sit in there forever and the killer can't get you. It is so unfair that the killer can get you out of the locker and just go and hook you. Now, as you can see, the killer is about to do another really unfair thing where he hooks the survivor. Even though he had to carry him so far, he was still able to hook the survivor, which is really busted, and I don't know how that's still in the game. Now, as you can see here, he's slugging, which means that he's actually really bad and annoying, and he should be sent to jail for 11,000 years for leaving you on the ground for more than 4 seconds. Right now, he's doing a really broken tactic. When the hook that was sabotaged, instead of just picking them up and waiting for them to wiggle out, which is what he should do in this situation, is he's actually waiting for the hook to come back, which is really overpowered. Now, as you can see here, again, we have another instance of a really busted instance down here, which is just really crazy to me. I still don't know how this is in the game. And another hook, man. This stuff is just so bad. I don't know how this problematic, unhealthy stuff is still in the game. As you can see here, this amazing David did a head-on attack that was super duper amazing and really cool. Oh, here's another broken thing. We can finally get into the power section. So as you can see, the very broken ability to damage survivors is also reflected in the powers. So for example, this really broken killer has the ability to hit you from far away, including over powers in windows. Pilots in windows, I think to remedy this, should make the survivor invincible and have iframes for 10 minutes after vaulting a window or pallet, so that the killer cannot use their very broken powers to do the very broken damaging action to survivors. But even more broken is that by interacting with this killer's doors, he can actually grab you out of the door, which is really strong and shouldn't be in the game. It's really unhealthy behavior that this is a thing you can do. As you can see now, he has automatically put them into the very broken grab state. And here we go, this is the very balanced pallet shaving. And the very correct teabagging. Teabagging is actually like a perfectly respectful thing to do, and no survivor should ever feel ashamed for doing it. As all killers deserve to be teabagged all the time. Here's another really broken instance of getting grabbed. And as you can see now, he actually gets a hook her from this one, which is just really unfair. I don't know how behaviorless is in the game, man. How behavior, come on, you gotta step it up, man. Here's another really, oh, you didn't do it, never mind. As you can see now, the game is lagging, which is actually what the killer should experience. I think lag should be base kit for all killers, because it just makes it a little bit better for the really free roll of killer. I have no fucking clue what's going on with this footage, by the way. Is this just like this? Okay. As you can see now, she dropped a pallet, which, like I said earlier, the change should be that this makes her invincible for 10 minutes. But, as you can see real quick, yeah, he was able to hit her over the pallet. So, I think this is a really good showcase of why you should have the 10-minute invincibility from pallets. And now this hook that was sabotaged is actually back. So that's actually really bullshit. Because that was like a very very skillful sabotage that he was able to pull off there. And from there she actually dies. This is one of the most broken things the killer can do, even more so than the damaging mechanic and the downing mechanic. Where you actually hook and kill the survivor. If you are killed, that means you cannot work on any generators or do any healing at all. It's really broken and problematic. I don't know how behavior allowed this. It's just a really weird feature. I don't know how it was able to get out of the PTB initially. When you get hooked a short time, you should just be able to instantly unhook yourself and go tap a generator and complete it in 1 second. That should be the first thing. As you can see now, he heard a loud sound notification from that locker, and that's really busted because of the fact that David had very rightfully gotten into that locker, and he was going to do another amazing hit-on play. But because of the fact that the killer knew about it, he was able to just not step in front of the locker, which is really busted. To remedy this, I think head-on should be changed so that the hitbox is the size of the map. So if you do it from any locker, then you will immediately be do that. Oh, by the way, this is a really fucking funny moment. So this guy has boil over. So, let's click my mic speaking. This guy has boil over, so I didn't want to pick him up because there was no hook nearby that was on the ground that I could reach because the scorch hook was sabotaged. So I was like, I don't want to pick him up because he's just gonna wiggle out if I pick him up and drop because of boil over. And then this guy just crawled straight off the platform entirely on his own. I believe he's death hook, by the way. So this guy just crawls off the platform on his own despite having boil over. Even though the hook was gone, and you're gonna see this is gonna be a mistake, because he just falls down, he crawls down, he falls off the platform, and then I just immediately pick him up. It's fucking hilarious. Anyways, as you can see, he was able to do the very broken. The killer actually forced him to crawl off that edge, which is really broken. It's a really broken kind of play to boil over. Boil over should actually make it so that you instantly escape the killer's grasp every single time that they break you up, honestly. I think that's the only way to make it fair. And the wiggle should make it so that they can't actually move in any direction. Now, there we go. Oh, never mind, you didn't damage it. So my aim's better now, by the way. There we go. This is another really broken thing that killers can do. You see, he damaged the generator, which means that the generator will start going backwards. This is really overpowered. generators already take so long. They're so long already that like there's no reason why the killer should be able to regress them. This is really overpowered behavior. I don't know how you let this in the game. So as you can see once more, he is following that. And now he's broken M1 again. And this is another thing I didn't consider until now, but honestly, look at those scratch marks. This is such a problematic feature. Why can't players just follow survivors that run out of their AOS so fairly? They're fairly getting out and hiding from the killer, but he can just follow them because of the scratch marks and the blood trails. That's not cool, man. Behavior, how'd you let this in the game, man? Why can the killer just follow you like that? The shadow step wound should be just default for every map across the entire thing. You shouldn't have to be able to cleanse it either. Speaking of blood bleed, the fact that killer can snuff out wounds and make it so they just don't have an effect anymore is also really busted. By the way, this stupid bitch is gonna do this more later. Anyways, so as you can see, also, the generator is still regressing. Like I said, it's such a really overpowered feature. I didn't know what to say about one. I was just taking guesses. As you can see now, he uses his really overpowered power to teleport to a door. So he basically just got to teleport to a generator for free, which is really overpowered. As you can see, the survivor is over there performing a very important skillful tech that makes it so that you can mute the killer deaf by doing a bunch of loud actions and distracting for your teammate very effectively. By the way, the Sable was the only one that wasn't in that fucking like bully squad, whatever the hell was going on there. So she was actually pretty chill in the post game chat. But so as you can see here, the Sable just now got caught looping around the relatively underpowered shack, which is it's a relatively underpowered loop where that really should be a little bit more survivor sided, considering that survivors really need a stronger loop that's consistent across the maps. I really don't know how behavior let that one in the game with such a killer sided loop, considering that he can do stuff like hit you in the shack. Shack could just give you invincibility when you're inside of it, so that it's a little bit more survivor sided, but I'm sure that killers will come up with some kind of bullshit to get around it. As you can see, this is another really broken feature where killers can actually grab survivors that are doing fast actions. This is obviously broken because he can do this even if they're healthy. So that makes the already really broken M1 that allows you to make them insta-downable into an even more broken thing if you are just doing the normal actions of vaulting a parrot or a window. This is just really unhealthy and problematic for the game behavior. I don't know how you let this in. Now, as you can see, this is going to be another instance of the hooking action, and even more broken is that, as you can see here, he is able to kill the survivor. Now, this is actually really broken because not only are you killing the survivor, which is already problematic, as quickly as you take it, but also, now, yeah, as you can see, he didn't even have to take her to a hook, which is really busted because because the hooks are already so overpowered, but you can still but they have counterplay. That just has no counterplay, which is just really unfair. Like, why can he just down you like that so easily and then just kill you? Like, that's not fair. Behavior, I don't know how you do this in your game. Thank you for watching my Reddit post.